Secretary Marshall, thank you for those kind words, and most importantly, for the opportunity to have directed these efforts over the past 15 years. We are seeing the fruits of your vision and of the tremendous collaborative work of those who are committed to seeing North Carolina continue to be a leader in this space. We are proud of the work that we have done and want to recognize each person that has served on our Electronic Mortgage Closing Advisory Committee since its inception in 2018. These individuals and their respective organizations represent every area of this vast industry, and we count ourselves fortunate to call you friends of North Carolina. I would be remiss if I didn't take an opportunity to recognize and personally thank Mr. Ken Sykes, my co-chair and true friend in North Carolina's undisputed champion of our electronic mortgage closing initiative. It takes guts to be the first one out on that runway, heading into uncharted skies. It's easy for Secretary Marshall to evoke thoughts of the Wright brothers when discussing this great initiative, and Mr. Sykes embodies that indomitable spirit, as he was the very first to invest the time, effort, and expense into our vision, taking electronic mortgage closings from a theoretical discussion to the practical applications that you will hear discussed in every session you attend during this conference. I do want to project a sense of calm and quiet confidence in how we are currently positioned in North Carolina to not only respond, but to have a thriving mortgage industry in this current COVID-19 situation we're embroiled in. For those who would like to offer remote online notarizations, I assure you that you can do so today under our temporary emergency video notarization or EVN law. There are no less than 3 electronic mortgage closing solutions that are approved by Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae that can be used in North Carolina today to execute a full remote electronic mortgage closing. These providers are Provaso, DocuSign, and DocMagic. North Carolina is also recognized by Freddie Mac as a state that they accept remote online notarizations from. It is critical to understand that we're operating on a platform that we started to construct over 2 decades ago, as Secretary Marshall mentioned. Not only has this foundation stood the test of time while we waited for the industry to literally catch up with our advances in electronic signature, e-notary, and e-recording, but it afforded us the opportunity to invite the largest mortgage lender in the country to launch a remote online notary eClosing pilot program to help us work out the kinks in remote online closings. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the facts. Now, this is not to say that we're resting on any laurels, because we certainly are not. We are working diligently with many stakeholders to ensure that we enact permanent notary legislation that will ensure that all business enterprises will be able to enjoy the trust and security that has been the hallmarks of notarization in both the electronic and remote notary environments that's now part of our everyday existence. I also wanted to share with you why we believe that our preparation is about to meet opportunity. For many years, there's been talk of electronic mortgages throughout the mortgage industry, but those discussions seldom resulted in any significant movement within the ranks of the true power brokers within the industry. This, however, has changed significantly in just the past 18 months alone. There have been major shifts in policy within the hierarchy of the U.S. monetary system related to mortgages. We have seen announcements of the acceptance of e-notes as collateral from the largest entities in the mortgage marketplace. There have been a number of strategic mergers, acquisitions, and partnerships between technology companies throughout the mortgage landscape, which belies the swiftly moving current in the mortgage industry. Consider that 4 of the 11 Federal Home Loan banks have started accepting e-notes as collateral since July of 2020. That would include Chicago, Des Moines, Indianapolis, and Dallas. And the one that is most germane to our region, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, is providing regular educational webinars to educate its customers on how to prepare to engage them with e-notes. Let me really help you understand the impact that this will soon have on North Carolina's mortgage industry without making any of my friends too uncomfortable. So I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of research and connect the dots here with me. What do you think is going to happen when, say, One of the federal home loan banks offers the opportunity to, let's say, the largest provider of residential mortgages in North Carolina, an option to tender eNote, which would obviously be generated by electronic mortgage closings and or remote closings. Keep in mind that we're in the midst of a persistent pandemic, and every business is focused on doing everything possible to provide safe alternatives for their members or customers to, let's say, close on a mortgage. What type of impact do you foresee in terms of the availability and the instant growth in e-mortgages in North Carolina? Ladies and gentlemen, I declare to you that our preparation is about to meet opportunity. Now, I want to provide for you some concrete evidence of my prognostication, lest you walk away still in unbelief. Ginnie Mae has recently started accepting eNotes as collateral, and that's a pretty big deal. But what's even more telling is that Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, recently purchased Ellie Mae for $11 billion. Now, Ellie Mae, understand, was founded in 1997 with the mission to automate and digitize the trillion-dollar residential mortgage industry. ICE also previously purchased Simplifile, arguably the largest electronic recording vendor in the country. And let's not forget their recent purchase of MERS, whose weekly totals of eNote registrations, as you will hear a lot about in our next session, are besting last year's monthly total. I also understand that Ellie Mae is building an eClosing platform, which is sure to be a game changer. And in other breaking news, Black Knight just acquired DocVerify. Adobe has partnered with Notarize. And not to be outdone, DocuSign just invested in SnapDocs. First American Title purchased DocuTech. And eOriginal has partnered with NotaryCamp. All within the past 12 months or so. What each of these mergers, acquisitions, or partnerships have in common is that they are all designed to position these corporations to compete in the digital mortgage space. Make no mistake about it, North Carolina. The time is now, and we're presenting this conference so that you are equipped to compete in this rapidly changing marketplace. Our ambition is to ensure that North Carolina has all of the tools necessary to compete in this new and ever-changing marketplace that demands a secure, uncompromising, and convenient means to serve our citizens through electronic and remote means. We so appreciate the fact that you chose to be with us during this conference. We have a grand lineup of industry professionals who are going to be able to provide you with the tools and information that's necessary for you to launch into your electronic mortgage closing and e-notary closing platforms. Thank you so very much for your kind attention, and we look forward to seeing you throughout the conference.